Hey guys, welcome to Learn Accounting, and today we want to talk about one of the important questions that is usually asked by undergraduates or those who are planning to go into the professional career. Of course, I'm talking about ACCA and Ican. And the question is, what is the difference between ACCA and Ican? Every time you hear people ask, why is ACCA better than Ican? Why is Ican better than ACCA and all that? But I'm here to help you to understand the difference between ACCA and Ican. So let's start with the first one. Now, number one is the fee. Now, a lot of time back in the days when the exchange rate in Nigeria wasn't that high, you'll find out that a lot of people were doing ACCA because they could afford ACCA. But now, ACCA is quite expensive than Ican. So in respect to the fee, if you don't have too much funds or you don't have someone sponsoring you, you might consider going for the Ican rather than the ACCA. Number two is the syllable. Now, in respect to the syllable, when it comes to ACCA, for me, I feel the syllable structure is very wide and it covers mostly all the areas that you need to learn. But in respect to the Ican, yes, the syllable is wide, but it doesn't really cover much, in my own opinion. So, syllable-wise, ACCA has it. The next one we have is the exam structure. Now, for the exam structure, ACCA exam structure, of course, is a computer-based exam. They've drived towards the computer-based, and most of their exams now are basically CBE. Even the professional level coming up soon will be the CBE exams. But for the Ican exam, it's still the paper-based, and the lower level, I think they're about to introduce the computer-based exam. So again, I think ACCA is futuristic in respect to exam structure. Other than that, the ACCA exam structure for me is self-explanatory. When you read through the question, in as much you read, I don't think you have difficulty with the exam. But you see the Ican, there's a perception. A lot of people find themselves probably cramming for the exams, or you see them not preparing hard enough because they have listened to the myths of the past, which usually affect their pass rates and all that. But talking about which one is difficult among both of them, I think for me, the ACCA exam is much more difficult than the Ican exam. With the Ican exam, some people could gamble their way and pass it. Of course, I've experienced that several times. But with the ACCA exam, if you don't know it, you're not going to pass it. And that's what makes, for me, the ACCA exam much more favorable than the Ican exam. The next one we have is recognition. Now, in respect to recognition, in Nigerian here, of course, I think for me, Ican is more recognized than ACCA because it's the local body. And if I would encourage anybody to do any of the professional exam, I'll first consider you do Ican before ACCA. But in most cases, when you see people who are planning to travel out of the country, they might be considering the ACCA exams. So yes, this one is left to you. You might choose to go for the Ican, you might choose to go for the ACCA, whichever one favors you the most. So for me, in respect to domain, I would say that, of course, Ican is Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, and that one is practically for Nigerian. But ACCA, of course, is everywhere. You could have your ACCA and you could be any part of the world. You could get exemptions from your ACCA and all that. So that gives you a head over other people that did Ican. Finally, the benefits. Now, in respect to benefits, I think for me, ACCA has, will I say, little benefits for you in Nigerian compared to the Ican, because you can't really use ACCA to practice much in Nigerian compared to Ican. So I'll encourage Ican in terms of benefits. In terms of membership, when it comes to ACCA and Ican, I think for me, ACCA is a little bit still expensive, though they give some subsidy, let me use that word, some basis in which you could pay reduced subscription and all that. But you know, Ican is Nigerian, you pay lesser amount, you pay lower fee, you pay about 17,500 for just your subscription for the year. ACCA pay about £258 for the year. You can see exchange rate affects you, so you find you'll be struggling, you know, to fulfill your membership obligation for ACCA. But for Ican, you can easily fulfill this obligation. So with all I've said so far, you could see that there is actually a great difference between the ACCA and Ican. But if they usually ask, which one should you go for? I will always tell them it's a decision of whether you have the finance to fund the exam. You don't want to start something you don't want to finish, meaning you need to finance it with something that at least you'll be comfortable to continue until the end of the exam, rather than to start and stop and say it is finance that cost you from not being able to complete your exam. So here you have it. Make your choice. Do you prefer the ACCA or do you prefer the Ican? Okay, in the next video, we'll be looking at other related issues on ACCA and Ican that students usually ask. So watch out for our next video. Make sure you subscribe on our YouTube channel and like our videos. Thank you. See you next time.